Good evening, everybody, and welcome to TLR Season 1, Round 7 for the German Grand Prix. And alongside me tonight, once again, is Jack. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm doing good, but I think I'm doing the same as everyone at the moment. I'm really bored. So I'm looking for something to hype me up a bit, if I'm honest.
This might be that, Jack, because it could be a cracker of a race. Germany has lots of overtaking opportunities in the race, so there should be plenty to commentate over this evening, and it might even be a little bit of wet on the circuit. You never know. So changeable conditions are very likely at this circuit, and we could be in for an interesting one. The British Grand Prix was a very good race last time out, battle for the win, and that was incredible to watch. We enjoyed that. So let's try and continue this good run of decent races, and I think Germany can certainly give that today with the amount of overtaking opportunities we've got. We're heading into qualifying now, seeing these guys absolutely push it to the limit in qualifying and giving it everything. Should be an interesting one, I think. And go on.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, I was just trying to think of what tyres people are going to start on, and I think Germany is relatively low deg. They're going to have to look out on the rears quite a bit, considering the amount of... It's a very stop-start track, so the rears are probably going to be a priority to look after in front instead of the fronts. So I'm suspecting most people are going to be running on the soft. Even if they're in the top 10, they'll be running on the soft, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you might see the odd person, again, outside the top 10, try and run the alternate strategy, like you normally see, but... I expect a lot of the top 10 boys just soft. And it's a wet qualifying. There we go. So I said chances of rain being reasonably high, and here we are, a wet qualifying session, and that mixes things up as well. And we don't know if it's going to be a wet race. It could be. But wet qualifying would mean that it mixes the order up a little bit as well, because some people do favour the wetter conditions over the dry conditions, and sometimes people can bring out a very big surprise and pull it inside the top 10 when they normally wouldn't be there. So makes things a little bit interesting. It looks like it's probably intermediate conditions.
Yeah, everyone's in
maybe
the car have the intermediate tyre selected, which is odd to me because it looks like heavy rain. But if the game says into as quickest, then the game says into as quickest. It's not my decision to make, but
exactly.
20 car grid, so hopefully no one times out or leaves halfway through, because that will ruin that perfect wreck.
Absolutely. First car out the circuit. Looks like it's going to be Mike Marshmallow. He can wrap up the championship this weekend. He has a 79-point lead over his teammate RBZ. If he nearly loses out outside the pit lane. If he wins the race and RBZ finishes 10th, Mike has to win the race and get a fast lap as well, and that would be enough to win the championship. So Mike can do it. And RBZ's form after Britain, where he had a new set of pedals and he was struggling to adapt to those, could be a factor in this race, because if he hasn't got on top of those issues, he might be down sort of 9th, 10th where he was in Britain, and RBZ's not normally down there. He's normally fighting for the podium, so and even the race victory. So it's a tricky race last time out for RBZ, and he needs to bring it back this weekend. But wet conditions, it could actually help him a little bit here, and everyone's sort of getting a feel for the circuit. And Jack, people don't tend to practice for the rain. They tend to really put a lot of effort into dry conditions.
I like how you said that just as we saw a yellow after in Sector 1, but I think going off your point a bit, I think back to your old one, if RBZ still hasn't got used to those pedals on this game, he's probably going to struggle even more in the rain, because you do need generally quite a bit more pedal control in the wets. I think that just goes without saying, to be honest, as Mike Marshmallow is about to start a lap. So
should we ride on board with him? Do you want to take us for a lap, Jack?
Yeah, through turn 1, you've got to be really careful, because this is where pretty much 90% of the track invalidations come from. You've got to be very careful braking for turn 2 as well, and then you can open it up quite quickly going through turn 3. Or it should all be flat here in the dry, in the wet. It's just a question of how much control you've got. At 9 with no DRS down the back straight, it's no advantage to really gain here. He keeps it quite tight to the inside. Where's he going to brake? He's actually really confident on the brakes at the moment. He broke it just before the 100 meter board quite a bit of understeering, a bit of oversteer on the exit as he tries to get away a bit. Again, another just quick burst of speed through sector 2 as he goes to Mercedes-Benz grandstand. Brake literally at the 50-metre mark. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 at the moment, so hopefully that disappears. Yes, it does. Again, this can just about be flat in the dry, but in the wet, there's no chance. And then another quick dash in sector 3, so the purple sector 2, that's probably because he's the only one who's done that so far. And then the stadium section, which is my favourite bit of the circuit, into the Sachs curve with a nice point Sachs curve. Be careful not to touch that inside curve, that can even spit you off in the dry, so in the wet it's a complete no-go zone. And through the last couple corners, at least that drag strip isn't as slippery as it is in real life in the wet. As you cross the line, it is going to be a 123.6. With no other times, we have no idea what that means.
There you go, just send it, put it. Yeah. LRT Ninja's out there at the moment in the McLaren. He's on a lap at the moment. Now Matt DJ goes third on a 24.6. So again, it's people just getting a feel for these conditions because, as we did mention, people don't really practice for these wet conditions, so it's kind of a feeler gauge. You never saw Mike was really pushing the limit on the brakes into that hairpin on his lap. So let's see what LRT Ninja can do. He can spring up a very good run of form and actually have actually has decent pace as well. So out of the last corner he comes. What's going to be a 24.5 puts in P6. Mr. Pigeon Munch, another very good driver. He's in the racing point at the moment. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him, so he might get a little bit impeded here on his lap. He's got an Alfa Romeo. Doesn't seem to be wanting to get out of the way. Oh, and he's gone very wide as well. Yeah. So here comes Pigeon Munch now, round the final corner. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be a 1 minute 23.2. So even considering that hold up he had, very much on top by 0.4 of a second. That's a very good lap. And actually, Tazela's on 22.9. So yeah. Tazela's done a very good lap.
Who hasn't? We've got
yeah, absolutely.
We've got times ranging from 22.9 to 30.5 at the moment. So yeah, you can definitely tell who's practicing, who hasn't in the rain. But
yeah,
this is probably going to get quite a bit quicker, even if the weather conditions stay consistent. It's probably going to be a bit quicker as the session goes on, just as a result of the line becoming quicker as a result of cars going over it. And RSF1 Karun into P4.
That's very good actually for him. Debuting this weekend, I think. I don't think he's yeah. He was a street gamer and yeah. Interesting. Yeah, everyone's sort of...
Who else is on a lap? Alien Crane retired in the session. I'm not too sure. Oh, that's Ninja's had a bit of a moment on the pit straight. I think he's just spun it just about to start a lap.
Oh yeah, he has.
Spun it right in the last corner. So he's going to have to go around again. I'm just going to quickly see if he's got any wing damage. And I can see, even from the back of the car, I think he's lost pretty much all of that wing. Yeah, he's lost the whole thing. So he's definitely going to have to come in again.
Yeah.
He literally lost every single last bit of that front wing. So that was a hard impact by the looks of things.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's not great for him. He's going to have to do a whole lap of that. No front wing, and that's not... that car's going to be understeering like an absolute pig through these corners, so it's not ideal. RB's just done a good lap, well, a reasonable lap, 24.3, but still quite a bit off his own teammate. But RB's just continuing on actually out there at the moment. He's coming in the middle sector. He's actually on a flying lap, so again, he's doing multiple laps on the trot. So let's see what...
Oh no, I've just completely... The commentator goes on and he just set the fastest sector 2 of anybody down in P16. He's going to steer wide and gone into the gravel. That's really unfortunate. I thought he was on a really good lap from that point. But if he can do a lap that good on his second attempt, then he can definitely work his way up. He's definitely got time to do another lap yet. So look for improvements from Cato.
Yes, he's definitely got that potential. Is he going on to another lap? I think he will be. He's around the final corner. Has he got enough charge of...
at the end of the lap, I think.
Yeah,
but he can definitely improve.
Yes. Sorry, Cabbages hasn't done a lap yet. So he's still down at the bottom of the pile. He's not done a run.
Yeah, Alien Crayons will be starting P20 if somebody gets...
Oh, Pigeon Munch is on top. 22.4.
22.4, so I think this track is getting faster. That's what, 0.8 quicker than his first lap, so it's one, he's getting more used to it, 2, these track conditions, well, at least on the racing line, are getting quicker, and it is heavy rain. That's why I'm quite surprised that the intermediate tyres are the way to go, but we'll probably see people doing multiple laps at a time on these intermediate tyres, just because they don't wear nearly as quickly as someone tries to. It's a dream. He really is getting in the way of some people at the moment. I know I just said it was not a lap at the moment, but he's just sort of dawdling in front of him. He needs to just be a bit more aware in the future. We saw him getting in the way of, I think it was Mr. Pigeon Munch earlier. Mr. Pigeon Munch,
yeah,
he's done his practice.
Tizela, he's on another lap here. We saw how good he was in Austria in the wet, and he's really Has he actually? Oh, blimey.
Yeah, and he's got no charge on his battery, so I think he has just made a mistake. I got too fast through there, son.
Let's run on board with RSF1 Karoon, because he's currently on an improvement. His first sector is a personal best. So they're heading down into this hairpin now. He's gone quite deep though, actually, and it's an interesting line, but you'll get not a bad exit out of there. And you can see it's definitely really heavy, Jack. The rain has increased its intensity, and he's Karoon's lost the rear end there. So I think, if I'm being honest, it looks like, I mean, I'm surprised that people are even improving. I mean, Mike Marshmallow's on second on a 22.5, so he's improved. So the track seemingly is better, but it looks like they understeered through that very fast right hand that she normally is. So he's ruined his lap here. So that's not ideal. I'm wondering if conditions have got worse. RBZ, meanwhile, is actually on an improvement. So let's keep with the current man in second place in the championship, as he runs it very wide through that fast right-hander, and he's now into the saving section of the circuit. So let's see if he can find a bit more time. Currently on a 23.7, he's lost the rear end there. His heads into the penultimate corner now, in fourth gear, careful on that throttle. Round the final corner he comes. Is he actually, blimey.
Yeah, on the track map is flashed up red, but I'm not.
Yeah.
3.4, there was a 3/10 improvement, so that would have put him in P6,
wouldn't it? Yeah.
I think. Yeah, P6, sorry. Yeah, as we were watching that, C went up to P5 as well. He improved by 3/10. And to be honest, with this heavy rain, I don't think it will actually change the track conditions that much. It will probably keep it more consistent, because with that lighter rain that we saw a minute ago.
Oh, it's Pigeon Munch on top again. Yeah. Actually, that reiterates your point, Jack. Like, as you said, like, if the rain falls the way it has, but people are still out there, the conditions are remaining pretty much the same as they were at the start of the session, because, you know, it's not going to really change much.
It was going to make the line drier and drier and drier until maybe sometimes in light rain conditions you can almost put the slick tyres on. But if it's heavy rain like this and cars are consistently running over that dry line, then you can probably just stick to the inters and be fine. And even the dry line will pretty much stay consistent as long as you're all running on it. I'm not really seeing anybody on any improvements at the moment.
A lot of people are pitting, aren't they?
Ninja is just about to go past the Mercedes grandstand on the flying lap. I'm not too sure how good his lap is compared to the rest at the moment, but the sector 2 split is about to come up, and then we can see his delta. He's still on he's 9/10 up.
It's not bad, actually. It's going to be around a 23.6, so it's going to be putting him around where RBZ is, if he can hook up the last sector. So let's keep on board with IRT Ninja and see if he does find that improvement. He's heading around the penultimate corner now. Let's see what it's going to be. Last corner. He's a good exit here, and be careful, loses the rear end a little bit and runs to the line. It's going to be a 23.5, and it puts him into P8. So again, he did improve, but a lot of people as well also did the same. Jamie currently, as you mentioned earlier, Jack, Jamie currently P6, and he had his podium last time out in Britain. So he did a really good job there, and looking to continue on that consistent form that he's been on all season long. F1 Tizela, though, is on a flying lap, and let's ride on board with the Williams driver as he heads into this hairpin now. Down into first gear, turns it in, careful on the throttle, short shifting at the second, now third, and now fourth to get a better traction up the corner. And he is on he's 3/10 up on his previous best, so we'll see what his middle sector is going to be like as well. Heads into this section now, very careful on the throttle here. Want to keep it as straight as possible, and then through this right bit, again, very careful on the throttle, don't run it too wide. Middle sector split, 6/10 up. So this is going to be
just set purple
roughly
sector 2
in
as well,
front.
so this is going to be a very good lap, I think. 6/10 start.
Absolutely.
If he improves by that calibre again in the third sector, this could very well be contenders for pole position. There's only 4 minutes left. These guys haven't got that many attempts left. Maybe 2, maybe 3 attempts if they're careful. That was right on the limit.
Yes,
That's a very consistent curve through those last 2 corners. And across the line he comes. Is it pole? No!
No.
So close!
It's not. It's only 0.003 of a second. That's incredible. So he has got time left in the session to go again if he wants to. But yeah, that's so close. And that was that penultimate corner. You can see he kind of hesitated because he knew the way he's turning in, it was going to be a cut. So he almost hesitated his turn in and turned out of it. I think if he hadn't done that, I think he would have popped it on pole just about. Pigeon Munch is in the pit lane, so we expect him to come out and respond. Mike Marshmallow at the moment is out there on outlap. And also watch out for Zane Kylo as well in the Ferrari. And his own teammate as well, because his own teammate Ferrari running 4th and 5th in qualifying at the moment. But watch out for Zane Kylo, he's right in this mix. He's only 5/10 off current pole man Pigeon Munch. And 5/10 is doable. You know, if you hook up the whole lap and if the conditions get drier, or the conditions get a little bit better online. I mean, they might not get drier, but they might just get a bit better online. He definitely can hook it up, and the track would have improved since the beginning of the session. So let's watch out for these guys. Mike will be starting a lap, and he is currently done his first sector. No idea if he's actually improving. Let's keep on board with the Red Bull driver as he heads into the hairpin now. He's going to be down into first gear, turns it in, and wants a short shift up through the gearbox to try and get better traction and better launch off it. And it's really important. This could be one of his last laps of the session, so he wants to make sure it's pretty done and dusted. Yellows and sector 1s, as some people are struggling still out there at the moment. And Mike getting through here, very careful on the throttle, and then through the right-hander here again, turns it in, careful on throttle, and a little bit of oversteer, but he's okay. But I think he's actually invalidated somewhere because he's 1.7 seconds off, so he'll have to go again one more time. Gisela's going again as well, because he said he's choosing to stay out there for an extra lap, even on those intermediates, which tells us that maybe the start of the race won't be a wet start, it'll be a dry start if he's continuing on. He's a 10th off his personal best in the first sector, so he's got a bit of work to do on this the rest of the lap to try even to improve on Pigeon Munch's lap. Pigeon Munch is out there at the moment and he's actually on an out lap, so he can be trying to push for this final lap in qualifying.
Yeah,
There's Mike.
Current scrap at the moment between Zane Kylo and Jason is back. Zane Kylo was on a lap, but then he went really deep into the hairpin, so he's going to have to go again. He's got one more lap to try and improve for P4. He's just wide into the gravel as well. He wasn't even pushing. Zane Kylo really struggling. RBZ coming across the line, he goes into P9. Still getting used to the pedals by the looks of things. Mike Marshmallow is on another lap. Did he improve his last lap, or did he invalidate it? I wasn't looking at him too much. It was more.
He invalidated, he had to back out of it. He has improved his first sector by 2 and a bit tenths though, so he is on another very quick one here. Let's keep with the Red Bull driver as he comes through the second sector, and the second sector split comes up now. It's what's it going to be? Another 2 and a bit tenths improvement.
The purple sector 2.
If he can hook up this last sector, he might be on here. It might be very close between the top 3. So he comes through the left and the right. Normally it's flat out through here. You've got to be very cautious in these wetter conditions. He's understeered a bit wide for my liking, and I don't know if that's... It's fine. It'll be okay. So here he comes, runs to the line. What's it going to be? It is a 22.0. Puts him on provisional pole for now. It's a very good lap by him. But he's got 2 very fast men behind him. Mr. Pigeon Munch, F1 Gisela are both going for it. Gisela is 1.9 seconds down, and he's made a mistake somewhere. So all eyes are going to be on Mr. Pigeon Munch in the Racing Point, because what can he do, and can he respond to Mike Marshmallow's lap? That's the big question here. So he's through the hairpin now. Careful on that throttle. He's got traffic on the right, and it moves up the way. Gisela moves up the way nicely, and he goes through the right-hander here. Very careful not to lose the rear end through here. And now through this left-hander. Careful on the throttle. He's gone a little bit deep, but he's okay. Nice on the throttle. Now through his right part. Again, careful. Not running it on the curb too much on the exit. And he's good. He's okay. Middle sector. 1 and a bit turns up. He's on here. He's very much on. Understeers through that fast right-hander, which is not ideal. Heading into the stadium section once again. Down into second gear. Up to third to get a better exit. and now through the left, and now the right part of this, and now through the penultimate corner. Very careful here. Again, you don't want to run too wide. You don't want to cut this inside corner for the last corner. What's it going to be for the racing point? Can he put it on pole position across the line? It's going to be P2 by 5 thousandths of a second. He just about misses out on pole, which means that in the end, Mike should be safe for pole position. Karun won't be going faster. Ninja's going and not going faster again either. RBZ is up in the middle sector. He needs to try and get in that top 5, and at the moment he is on for that. So he's heading into this team section once again. Careful on the throttle through here. He needs to cut up a little bit of oversteer, actually quite a bit of oversteer indeed. He's drifting it practically through there. And now through the penultimate corner now. And now the last corner. Can he improve on his current P6? Here he comes, runs it to the line, struggling for traction. And it's a 22.7. It keeps him in.
That last sector.
Yeah. Jamie, though, won't be improving either. He's into the pit lane. So that is qualifying done and dusted. Unless Cathal is improving. No. Ace Face isn't either.
Oh,
that's it. That's qualifying.
Very far up. He's 8 tenths up. Where's this going to put him? Invalidate it. Wow, okay, never mind. Ignore me. By the way, CG3 and Jason's back exactly the same time on the board as well.
Wow. And Cheese Dreams put that lap in first. So he starts in front. Interesting. That was qualifying then. And Mike on pole, Pidgeman second. Very close between that top 3 indeed, only separating the other by, what, 1.5 tenths of a second. Really very, very close in qualifying, and all to play for the race.
Yeah, I don't think you can get much closer than 5,000. Well, you can get closer than 5 thousandths, but not if you try. That is about as close as you want to get it, to be honest. And I think that's just going to motivate Mr. Pidgeman even more, knowing that he was that close to getting pole, and also in between the two guys that had the most monstrous battle last race. That's really going to perk his spirits up.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll see if it's going to be a dry start for this race. I think it could be, but I mean, I wouldn't mind another wet race around here. A wet race around here can be pretty spectacular. A wet or dry race around here is pretty decent, so we'll see how it goes. That's qualifying done. We'll run through the order and we'll get this race underway.
Yeah, it just depends if the race is going to be in the wet as well.
Exactly.
Do the intermediate tyres carry on? If there's 2 wet sessions?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they.
Well, some people did 5 laps on those set of tyres, so
I think outside of top 10, no.
Careful.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, there you go. Mike on pole, Pidgeman second, Sailor third, Karun fourth, Ninja fifth, Arbiter sixth, Zane Kylo in seventh, Jamie in eighth, Adam in ninth, and Shane Lee in 10th, Matt DJ in 11th, Justin at 12th, Cheese Dreams 13th, Jason in 14th, Barky in 15th, Ed in 16th, and then 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. I didn't get. I'll get them in a minute. But yeah, let's see if it's going to be a wet start. It might be. But it is. It's going to be a wet start. That makes things very interesting. Race director. Let's get up our remaining bottom 4. So we've got Soy Cabbages in 17th, Caffle in 18th, Ace Face in 19th, and Alien Crayon last. And a lot of people on the wet tyres to start with. So it's going to be a very wet start to this race.
Yeah, I think.
And as you're saying, Jack, as well.
P2 on inside into turn 1.
Yes. Absolutely.
So this is all going to be down to the start, really. I mean, the actual grid slots themselves aren't really. I mean, they're only like, what, half a car length behind each other?
No, yeah.
So, yeah, this is pretty much all down to the start. And that car length that the racing point is behind sort of gets taken away by the fact that he's got the inside line into turn 1.
Exactly. Let's get some data. Yeah. Pidgeman is on the intermediates, by the way. I don't know if you can see that on your screen. That's the same on yours, but looks like he's starting on the intermediate tyre compared to the other people around him. And actually a few others as well. I think I've got Just Send It on the intermediate, and I've got Barky in 15th also on the intermediate tyre. So, is it me, or there's a split in tyre choice here on the grid?
I haven't actually brought up the spectator menu yet, so I will have a look. Just give me a second. Oh, most of the people going on the wet. Oh, the most interesting one though is P1 and P2. That is going to almost completely influence who gets off the grid best. That is very much of the actual getaway has been taken away from the drivers now. It's all down to which tyre is best.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm surprised that Pigeon Munch has taken that option to start on the Inters. I mean, judging by the track conditions, it's a lot wetter on the track than it was in qualifying. The rain intensity is about the same, but because the track hasn't been run around with, I think it's going to be a lot worse to drive around than in qualifying. So we've got a very interesting start to this race, I think, Jack. And as you said, the launch is going to be very important, very vital. People are driving at pretty quick speeds as well at the moment to try and get a feel for these conditions, because they are a lot different to the way they are in the race. But yeah, this should be one interesting turn one and the first lap, I think. We'll see who made the right choice in terms of choosing what tyre to start on for this race. So everyone's lining up into their grid slots now, and we're ready to go racing for the 7th round of TLR. And it should be a very quick one. Mike can wrap it up this week. And he can get the championship nailed if he wins the race and gets the fastest lap, and if RBZ finishes lower than 10th place. That is what he needs to do. And here we go now. We're ready for those five red lights here. It is 1 light, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights. 5 lights are on. And away we go, and it's a pretty, even Steven start. It looks like Pigeon Munch got not a bad opening launch. It's going to be very tight into turn one. Pigeon Munch on the inside of turn one, and it's Mike on the outside. He's on the curb, and it's wheel to wheel heading into turn two. Who's it going to be, Pigeon Munch or Mike? It's going to be Pigeon Munch on the inside, and also look at that Gisela on the inside as well. He follows suit with Pigeon Munch, and it's wheel to wheel with these two as well. Cars are off, people are struggling already. Gisela's looking for a overtake on Pigeon Munch as well. We're right on board with the Williams drivers. We're heading into this hairpin. He's in the slipstream. He moves to the left-hand side. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the inside line for Pigeon Munch into this hairpin. But that might be the better actual line heading into this corner. Can get a better launch. But Pigeon Munch barks it out of the way. That's it. It's actually a Ferrari's gone very deep into the hairpin. It's well in the background. That's going to be Zane Kyler, I think it is. It's wheel to wheel. Gisela, Pigeon Munch. It's going to be Pigeon Munch on the outside and Gisela on the inside, and he gets it done. And here comes the cut back by Pigeon Munch round the outside of this next corner. It's going to be wheel to wheel continuing for multiple corners. Pigeon Munch continues in P1, and what a battle on this opening lap between these two already. It's already heated, and we're already on that first lap.
Oh, that was probably the best start I've seen. The 3 starts I've seen. That was absolutely a big respect for these three as well for not hitting each other. Through turn one, I saw one car halfway alongside the other. I was like, they're coming together 100%. And who's that going to cover? It's Chewy Green. He just lost a big handful of positions. Mike Marshmallow, he's going to have to start. Yeah. It looks like the intermediate is actually the better tyre. Pigeon Munch is pulling away quite a lot from those two. 8/10.
I'm really surprised, Jack.
He was only just going side by side with him a sector ago, and he's already 8/10 ahead. So those intermediate tyres working well against the wet environment.
I'm so surprised with that. Like, honestly, the track conditions look a lot worse than they should be. I don't know if that was partly down to the wet maybe getting a little bit more heat quickly, and on that first lap they're able to get the temperature faster than the intermediate. But as soon as that intermediate tyres come into its own, it looks like it's kind of bit into the track surface, and it's delivering the goods for Pigeon Munch. So he's done a really good job. And now Shane Lee and Just Send It are battling away as well. Let's go down this order mid-pack here, because Shane Lee is wheel to wheel with Just Send It now. As we're heading into, it's 3 wide actually, Lily. As there we go on the right hand side, it's going to be Jamie as well. Jamie is down to 8th place, looks to the inside of Shane Lee now. It's contact between the two of them as now Shane Lee goes very much off the circuit. It's going to be nearly 3 wide, but not 3 wide in the end. It's going to be round the outside for Jamie if he can. It's going to be the Ferrari now on the inside. These three are all going for it. Jamie's on the outside. It's going to go around the outside. He can't go around the outside. He's on the gravel, for God's sake. And there we go. He's down into P9. The Williams looks for something as well, but can't do it. Shane Lee's... Where's Shane Lee gone? Is he in the wall?
No, he's off the stacks curve.
That's crazy.
He saved it though. He very well stayed.
He did.
And who was that in the Alfa Romeo that went into the gravel going into the stadium section? That was very well saved. You say that.
Oh my God.
Massive moment coming out of the last turn. Don't make me jinx you now.
It's an absolute mess out there.
all over the place, that Alpha at the moment.
Yeah, it's an absolutely messed up there. Adamar now, right behind Jamie now. And he's got 2 Hasses of Matt DJ and Soggy Cabbages. And let's see, can Matt DJ also have a look on Adamar here? I don't think he's too far back, but Adamar will have a tow from Jamie. Bear in mind, no DRS in these wetter conditions at all. But then a check up on the top 2, gap's 2.2 seconds. So that intermediate tyre is definitely working in these wetter conditions, surprisingly to everybody else. And a lot of people are pitting for that intermediate tyre as well. Cathal, Shanley, Jason is back, Karoon, Cheesy Dreams, Barkey, they've all gone onto that intermediate tyre now as well. So people are choosing different options. And now Adamar and Jamie are will to will. And it's going to be Adamar around the outside of Jamie there. And he can't do anything about it, because on the outside line, it looks like the Williams had the better grip than the Alfa Romeo. So Adamar into 8th place. Just send it also on that intermediate tyre. He's making some incredible ground up. And it's definitely, and look what's happening here, because Adamar's lost it into that Mercedes grandstand area. So I don't know what's happened there for him. He's has a bit of a mare. These wet tyres are not working, I don't think, Jack, at all, because people on the intermediates now just send it. It's now into 6th place ahead of his own teammate. He's making up some incredible ground here. So I think the intermediate is definitely a tyre to be on.
Yeah, I think Jamie
As
is
people
going into the pits right now, and he is putting on the intermediate tyre. So this is going to be the first sign of how quick the wets are against the inters, because obviously these are all different drivers in the same car, but they all have different characteristics about them. You can't really compare how quick they are. And by the way, the supercharger goes to 8th place. Even some of the cabbages were very close together on the supercharger, but at the end of lap 2, 8th place was just one spot above. He was up 7, so the cabbages was up 6. But they're both up 9 at the moment, and they've both had very good starts. And Amy Brown as well, I don't be bothered, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. Just send it now into 5th place ahead of RBZ. So RBZ's been overtaken by the intermediate running Ferrari. So very good stuff by Just Send It. He's picking up some incredible ground on that tyre, and he's going to be looking to try hunt in on IRT Ninja as well, who's only just ahead of him. So yeah, it's looking like it's getting dangerously close. As now, look at this, Mike Marshmallow is closing in on Gisela here. As Mike boxes it into the pit lane. Pigeon Munch continues on. What a wonderful strategy is being played out by Pigeon Munch here today, because he's running out there on that intermediate tyre and he's just blown everybody away. He's completely got a massive advantage into this race. People like Just Send It, also on that intermediate tyre, starting on that compound, is going to have a massive advantage as well for the end of the race.
Everyone's going to come into the Inter now. It's gone to light rain conditions, so
yeah,
Inter's definitely going to be the tyre for the grid in probably about a lap's time. You'll probably go one more lap on the wet, and then that'll be it. They'll just start overheating and not getting as much grip as they would be if it was heavier rain. But Mr. Pigeon Munch, I mean, even if they didn't have that pit, I think the pace he's on, he was pulling away from the other two by about 2 seconds a lap. That was really unbelievable pace from the Racing Point in the first couple of laps. And now he's going to have, after everyone else has pitted, probably 30-second lead.
Yeah. Gisela's gone very deep as well, so he's struggling, and he's going to be, I think he's going to be undercutted by Mike here, because Mike's on that intermediate now, and Gisela's really struggling on this lap here. You can see he's just really struggling to get the car slowed down. So, yeah, looks like he'll be overtaken by Mike, and he could even be in danger to Ninja as well, if he's not careful.
Yeah, Just Send It in the net P2 at the moment. You can see Gisela struggling on those wet tracks. This Pigeon Munch, he's doing about 4/10 a lap. He's bettering his lap by 4/10 a time at the moment. So this track's getting quite a bit quicker, very quickly at the moment. Just Send It in the net P2. Gisela, I want to see how far down this guy goes. RBZ also in the pits.
There comes Mike.
Yeah, Mike Marshmallow's definitely got this
easy.
Although Gisela isn't overly far behind him. He's further than he would want to be, but I think he's only around 2 seconds. 2.1 when he needs to get back up to pace. 2.3 seconds about.
That's not too bad considering. I mean, he lost a lot of time on that lap. Granted, he's probably lost about 3 seconds to Mike on that lap. But
a Ferrari and Renault side by side into turn 2. Standing on the outside. What a good move.
Here comes RBZ as well. He wants to get in on this action. 7th place is for the taking here. If he can get a good run, he's really fell down the order here. Not worked out for him. Here comes Zane Kylo though on Shane Lee on the inside of the hairpin. Let's see, can he get this move done on the inside? He surely will be able to get the move done and get a block pass done. Superbly done. Textbook stuff. RBZ, meanwhile, wants to really get up the order because he's losing even more points than Mike. At this moment in time, the championship won't be settled here. But again, any more points matter. Pigeon Munch, again, 25.4. Lighting up those timing screens. Doing a superb job out there at the moment. Man to beat. Absolutely.
Yeah, just send it.
Just send it. Yeah, 25.3.
Oh, the top three are really in just a world of their own at the moment, to be honest. It's probably includes Taylor in there as well.
Mike.
I mean, he's not really threatening Mike at the moment, but he's sort of just lurking. Mr. Pigeon Munch, what a lead he's got, but just send it has the pace to catch up to at the moment. But
here comes RBZ looking for a move on Shane Lee. Close, but fainted. Shane Lee's gone very wide out of turn one, so he's struggling. But look how dry the track's getting at the moment. That line is very much drying out, and you never know if things get dry up quickly. We could be on dry tyres for this in the end of the race. And there you go. Shane Lee's lost the rear end, and here comes RBZ. Going to be easy pickings for him as he gets past Shane Lee on this straight. You know what? Not as easy pickings as I thought, because it looks like Shane Lee's trying to use a little bit of his ERS to keep in front. But inside line for the hairpin for RBZ. That should be done and dusted. Yes, it is. And he's into 8th place now.
I thought he was going around the outside.
Wanting to try and get
from
past.
the angle I was looking at, he was going to go around the outside. But yeah, RBZ sort of just capitalising off of the mistake that Shani made. I mean, he'd be kicking himself if he did.
You say that. He's got deep.
Is Shani gonna? No, there's no room there at the moment. Although we've seen people go around the outside before there, but I think they were already alongside with the person they were trying to overtake. And RBZ's got a bit of train behind at the moment, if I'm honest.
And you know, Jamie's actually looking pretty feisty here in 10th place. I wouldn't bet. There you go, Gisela now, fastest race 23.8. So Gisela's on a fast one here. We saw how good he was in qualifying too. So watch out for him because he wants to get past Mike again. Shane Lee really struggling for that last corner now as Jamie's going to be able to close back in. And yeah, as you said, Jack, massive train behind RBZ now. We've got 5 cars. Within a very close proximity of one another because I don't know, Mike just obviously seems to be not really got the pace in these conditions at the moment, as we saw kind of in Great Britain. Shane Lee though, again, wanting to get his return on RBZ here, wants a bit of revenge, and if he can, he might be able to do so. He's got the slipstream, he'll be using that energy recovery that he's got available to him, but he's just too far back for a move into the hairpin. And meanwhile though, Jason is back on the inside of Jamie here, and Jamie will have to give him space, and he will have to give him space, but it's a bit argy-bargy because it's wheel to wheel. And you know what, I think Jason had a bit of a lag tap, like a lag tap almost, like bit of connection tap there, because it looked like it was a bit argy-bargy between the two of them, but not enough to make him have a bit of wheel spin. So I'm wondering if he just wants a lot of the rear end grip out of there, as Jimmy maintains 10th place for now.
Yeah, I just don't think he had
Zane...
very, very bad exits. He lost position to Renault as well behind him, so the outside line on that hairpin is definitely looking further, because it gives you such a better exit.
Absolutely. Zane Carlo now, right behind Cathal in McLaren, so watch out for him. He's 5/10 behind McLaren driver. Let's ride on board with the Ferraris. We head through turn 1. He's got so much more confidence through turn 1 than Cathal here, and he's lining up a move and probably into the next. Actually, you know what? He might try. No, I wouldn't bother doing it now. Let's try and get a good exit off the turn 2 and now turn 3 if he can get so. He'll cut back into here, and you know what? That's textbook stuff. Brilliant stuff. Nicely timed. Got the grip, hooked it up, straight past the McLaren driver with ease. Cathal will try and fight back, but he's just too far behind now, and he'll let the Ferrari go, and Zane Carlo's on his way.
Carlo goes very deep though, but he manages to defend it from the McLaren. Yeah, there's a lot of switchbacks going on in this race. I think the best one I saw was Pigeon Munch on, I think it was Cizela on the first lap.
RBZ,
yeah, he's not going for it
mighty.
Just yet. I'm on board with him.
No.
He's really starting to have a bit more confidence with those pedals, especially now it's in the rain. He's in PA at the moment. He's still got a little bit of work to do, but he can definitely get past that McLaren. it will give it into turn 2 or turn 4. But definitely
on the brakes, so much more. Oh, kind of so much more confidence. But he brakes so much later than Cathal there, and Cathal's struggling. You can noticeably see it. He's in a decent points playing position, but you can see the guys behind him definitely have a bit more pace than him at the moment. Ace Face has left the session, which is unfortunate for him. Here comes RBZ right behind Cathal now, and he looks to the inside. You know what? He might want to get it done now if he wants it. If he looks to the inside, he's gone a lot deeper on the brakes. It's wheel to wheel, but now let's try and get a cut back. RBZ now, and he'll try and get a cut back. He's in the slipstream. He pulls to the left-hand side, and this should be pretty much a mirror image of what happened last round with Kylo. So there we go, yeah, RBZ into P7. Behind though, watch out for Shanley now on the brakes, because he's going to go on the inside of Cathal, and he brakes so late, nearly rear ends RBZ there into the hairpin, as RBZ loses the rear end, has a lot of bad traction. Meanwhile, Jamie now wants to move, and Cathal too, and Cathal's really falling down the order. There's no reason why he should be. Looks to the inside, Jamie now on the inside. He nearly touches the McLaren there, and yeah, it's tight in this midfield at the moment, Jack, and lots of battles. Don't know where to look next.
Yeah, I thought it was just, I think, just being a bit too cautious at the moment. He's doing all of his braking in a straight line, and he's not putting up a fight too much against anybody that falls up behind him. He was like in P6 a couple of laps ago. He's already threatening to go down into P10, 11, maybe even 12 if he carries on to be this cautious. As Stanley is all over the back of RBZ, and just looking at the pace of some of the front runners, Zazela is right behind Mike Marshmallow, so we might see a swap of podium position in a second. He was a couple of seconds behind a few laps ago, but he's slowly been chipping away at that. Without DRS, I think we might see ourselves in a bit of a similar position as we saw ourselves in Austria, with no one really being able to mount a challenge.
Shaney got really close to RBZ through turn 2. Our first couple of corners seemingly like RBZ struggling, but RBZ managed to pull it back after turn 3. In the background, look at this, other Renault now on the inside of Jamie. RSF1 Karoon got on the inside and pulled a very good overtake, but it's wheel to wheel now between the two of them, heading into this flat out right-hander, which would be flat out in the dry, but not in the wet. And that's, I think, the move done by the Renault driver, just about, and he's into 10th place. Jamie slipping down the order. Next up for Karoon is Cathal.
Yeah, Karoon's on a bit of a
behind
recovery
him.
drive at the moment, isn't he? On a bit of a recovery drive. He had an incident with somebody in the first couple of laps. I think he fell down right away to P18, but at the moment he's worked his way back up into P10 after 8 or so laps, which is very good from the Renault. He's definitely going to carry on this momentum. He's all over the back of Cathal at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Done a really good job. Renault looking for double points here in Germany. Meanwhile, Zazela and Mike, things are getting pretty interesting between these two boys, because they're pretty close together now heading into the hairpin, but no real overtaking opportunity for Zazela yet. But he's just got to keep Mike under pressure. That's what he's got to do, and he'll be doing that for quite a bit of time now. The rain doesn't seem to be easing. Conditions are better than they were earlier on, but yeah, no sign of drier conditions or wet, slick tyre conditions as of yet, but we're slowly getting there. I think the conditions on the circuit are clearing up a little bit as the drivers are running around it, but the rain isn't stopping yet. But once that rain stops, we'll be in for drier conditions and probably slick tyres, which again will be another strategy throw and another change in the guard in terms of the strategy to play out for. So things can very much change, as now Cathal's got past, actually Cathal and Karoon are still with one another, as Karoon looked to get the place done, and then it looks like Cathal's lost that place back again. So Karoon's lost the rear end, and he's hit the gravel there. He's okay, he stays in 10th place for now.
Yeah, I think this track is about to go back to dry in a minute. I mean, the light rain is
here comes Zazela though.
Yeah,
here comes Zazela now.
For the last couple of laps in the slipstream. I don't think Mike Marshmallow, is anything. He's going to try one go around the outside of 2, even look maybe for a switch back.
Zazela brakes very much later than Mike.
Yeah, he locks up the right front, and Mike looks for a switchback, but Zazela somehow has enough momentum. DRS enabled. The rain is still there. but it's dry enough for DRS to be there. So maybe see a bit more battles sooner or later. But yeah, this is gonna, if anything, these two battling, it's gonna help out with the Pigeon Munch even more, because just send this losing out to him, get the Pigeon Munch into the pits.
That's early, isn't it? Maybe
Well,
the thing
DRS enabled
those...
is the point at which, DRS enabled is the point at which the dries are faster than the inters. They just have to be very careful on those dries at the moment.
Yes. You know what, though? Let's say his strategy play today has been superb. The advantage he's got...
Dummied him! Cizela has stayed out because it looked like Marshmallow was staying with him, but Mike Marshmallow in right to the last second. Any later, he wouldn't have gotten in the pits, and Mike is going on to... Can't see what compound that is, it's over the car.
Hard tyre.
Hard tyre, so he's going to the end on those. I think his rain is going to stop in a minute, you know.
I think the mediums will still go to the end, though. I think 20 laps on the mediums isn't impossible.
He wants to be
Pigeon
safe,
Munch now out there, and he's... Yeah. Pigeon Munch now out there at the moment. He doesn't look like he's struggling anything at all, so I think he's definitely made the right choice, but he just made the right calls today. You know, he's started on the intermediate tyre, got a big advantage. Just send it as well. Done a superb job. As Yellow's 3, someone's had an incident. I think that's Ford who's dropping down the order. So is that him who's made a mistake? He has, and he's made a mistake going into the pit lane. I think he's lost a bit of his end plate. So just like Mercedes in real life, things have gone a little bit wrong for Ford as he pits it in. Not ideal whatsoever. Let's keep an eye on what's going on with Gisela and Mike. That battle with Mike, because Mike's on the hard tyre. Now, the hard tyre will struggle with warm-up on this initial outlap, so it might not be all over for Taylor yet. He still might be able to come out just behind Mike. And into the pit lane comes the Williams. Definitely struggle for that penultimate corner. Let's see if it's close, if anything. It might not be that close, to be honest. So here he comes into the pit lane. Williams will give him probably, I think it's got to be a tyre for him.
Yeah, I was looking at the delta between the Munch and Zayla on that lap. Zayla lost 5 seconds to the front runner on that lap. He's lost so much time doing one more lap on those inters. He's gone down to P4, and Mo Marshmallow, who he's previously battling with, and actually overtook.
7 seconds off the road.
7 seconds behind him again.
That's crazy. Yeah, definitely the wrong strategy. And I kind of was hoping for him that maybe he'll be still nipping top with Mike, but that was getting spicy, you see, a battle, as now RSF1 Karun does a fast for the race, as expected. These conditions are a lot faster than earlier on. But yeah, I just hope that Gisela was able to kind of stay nipping top with Mike, and the battle would continue for the rest of the race, but looks like that gap's really opened wide. It's 19 laps to go. That gap is definitely trimmable if he's got the pace in these dry conditions, so a lot more work to do for Gisela, being dummied twice by Mike in this race, in particular going into the stops.
Wow. I was looking at the two Renaults then, and Karun probably braked 30 metres before Shanley did. I was going to play a team game. Shanley's going to let this teammate pass any minute now. He just looks so much more confident with his car than the guy in front.
Just send it fast for the race, 17.3, so he's got some good pace in these dry conditions as well. Mike's 3.5 behind, so the advantage that Just Send It actually had is kind of being caught quickly by Mike, so Mike's definitely in the hunt for second place still in this race. But yeah, these two Renault boys, I think.
At the moment, he just set past this sector 2 and he wasn't using any battery. I'm not quite sure how he did it. Shanley set the fastest lap though, so he did actually get away from his teammate quite a bit. They both get a time penalty going through turn 1. Oh dear. Yeah, if we're going to see time penalties now, it's when people start riding the curbs. Because in the wet, obviously, you don't want to touch them. But now, we're going to see people really start to get adventurous with how fast they can go. RSF1 Karun with the DRS. He's catching up to his teammate. He's going to dive to the inside. His teammate doesn't put that much resistance into it. There's not much point. It's a teammate. You don't really
in the background's getting spicy as well. 3 wide. There's a Red Bull. His RB's on the inside of turn what of the hairpin rather. Kylo and Jason in his back is really back in this top 10 fight because he's right there. Here comes Kylo now in the slipstream of RBZ. RBZ will have to cover him, and he will cover him into this next corner. But RBZ now gets a penalty as well, but he's really under pressure now because he's not looking confident in these conditions. Someone's wide. I don't know who's gone really wide. Look at this. Kylo looks for the inside line for that fast right-hander. I don't know what he was trying to do there. It was a bit dangerous to try and go for it into that corner because it always ends up in tears. But RBZ is really struggling now. And in the wet conditions, he looked like he was there or thereabouts. But in these dry conditions, he's just not got the pace. I think, you know, if he can get any points today, that would be an achievement for him, and he'll take those home. As now through turn 1, DRS available for Kylo on RBZ now. He's got the slipstream and the DRS, but behind, Jason is back. Has really got the paces. Look at that lock up for the Ferrari driver. He's gone very deep into turn 2, and it looks like Jason is back. Going to get a decent run out of this corner here as Pigeon Munch 15.2 fast up the race, really going for it at the moment. But Jason's back hasn't got enough, and here comes Kylo on the inside of RBZ now into the hairpin, and that's got to be a done deal surely, and it is a done deal. He forces RBZ out of the way, and RBZ's going to be under pressure from Jason's back if he's not careful, but RBZ in the slipstream, and it's going to be, oh, where did he fall for time from session? Here comes RBZ on the inside of Kylo, and it's going to be a done deal. Switch back for the Ferrari, yes or no? No, it's not, because he's round instead, and that's ended up in tears for Kylo, who was running in some very good points.
Yeah, I think Jason just tried to follow him through it, and there was no room, and he tapped the Ferrari around. Definitely a Mercedes fault, I think. Way too over-ambitious, but I think Zane Carter can definitely make up some points from this as Cable gets pushed wide by the Williams of Adam R.
Oh, Jason is back into the pit lane, by the way, so I think he's got some damage. He wouldn't be in the pit lane if he didn't need to be in the pit lane. Cathal now right behind Adam R for 9th place.
He's doing the front wing change, yeah. He did hit that Ferrari. Yeah, he was just a bit over-ambitious trying to get past him. He tries to follow another car through in a relatively quick corner, and it just didn't work for him. Renault's, if you want two people that are in a world of their own at the moment, these two, they're not near anybody else. There's no need to battle each other, because that would just risk taking one another out. Yeah, these two just strolling at the moment.
Yeah, they're just kind of mirroring each other at the moment. Kareen obviously on that medium tyre, the fastest tyre at this point of the race. He will start struggling towards the end with tyre deg, because that medium will be degrading a lot faster than the hard, so the hard will can come into its own towards the end of the race. We'll see how that plays out towards the end between these two Renault boys. It might be they're doing a switch at the end, just so they don't battle too hard. But you know, battle for honours. That's what I say. They're on the equal. You know, they're not on equal strategies, but they're on. You know, they're choosing their own strategies to get against one another, and let's see what strategy kind of comes out on top. As Cheesy Dreams has fell down the order somewhere as well. He's in the 13th. He was running a bit higher than that, so things have gone wrong for him. As now Kylo is coming back into this after his spin earlier on, as he's looking to challenge Cathal for 10th place. And I do think Cathal will be going to have he's going to have to surrender this position here, because DRS is going to be very effective down this straight now. And he goes to the left-hand side, and that's an easy-peasy lemon-squeezy move by the Ferrari driver in the DRS, as textbook as you like. And that's back into the points for Kylo after his spin. So, as Cathal lost the rear end, so that could have ended up badly. He still wants to continue in this race, Cathal, because, you know, you never know. He might be able to pick up an odd point or two here. Things can change with 14 more laps to go. Plenty of life in this race and plenty of opportunities left remaining, definitely. As Sawyer Cabbage is up to P15 ahead of Jason's back. Jason's back has now switched to positions, and he's got the inside for the next corner. Battle for, what is this, 15th place? And we're watching this because it is pretty spicy. It's now Sawyer Cabbages and Jamie at will-to-will. Jamie gets the cut back round the outside on that medium tyre, and it's a pretty easy move by the Alfa Romeo driver into 16th place. So decent stuff. As now in the gravel trap is Jason, and it's going to be Jamie into 15th. Jason has hit the wall. He's lost his front right end plate. He's left the session. He's called it a day. That's such a shame because, you know, there's still time left, and that's gone wrong. So unfortunate for him in the end.
Yeah, the next battle, I think, or really the only one on track at the moment, is between P9 and P10. Everyone else has really got some distance between them. I think the one furthest away from anyone is first place at the moment. 22-second gap to the next competitor. That's That's like a Vettel gap or a Hamilton gap, plays.
Absolutely. That's crazy stuff. And the thing is, like, he's got that advantage. He can kind of... He doesn't have to push too hard now. Like, he can just maintain his tyre wear, just do what he needs to do, and, you know, he can come home... Instead of being 23 seconds in the lead, he can come home at any gap he wants now, because it doesn't matter. Mike will try and close in on that gap, though, and he's on... Well, he's only 2 seconds behind. Just Send It. Just Send It is looking very good for our podium today. But 30 more laps to go. He's got 2 very fast boys behind him, both Mike and Zayla. Zayla has caught up to Mike, down to 2.8 seconds from what it was 7 seconds earlier on. So keep watching out for that battle. I think second place is very much up for grabs still. I think between Just Send It, Mike, and Zayla. I think definitely watch out for this towards the latter stages of this race.
Yeah, the biggest influencer in that decrease in Delta, I think. It's
Shane Lee and Karun. Let's go back to the running, boys, because it's like Karun has the inside, Shane Lee on the inside for the next corner, and it's still wheel to wheel. And you know what? They're getting proper close to one another. And you know what? If I was Sarah Bettable, I would be creaming my pants at the moment, because that is too close for comfort. But anyway, continuing on.
These two just chill out a little bit. It's the P6 to P7. You want to crash into each other like the P6 to P7. It'll win, I might understand it, but just kind of neat, boys. Chill out. Squirrel is going wild on the pit wall right now.
I don't know what he would be saying, but it'd be probably a lot of swear words in French.
Throwing keyboards, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, Mr. Pigeon Munch, he's got another 2 seconds on that Ferrari behind him.
He's enjoying his time out there, you know, he's probably just enjoying just looking around. And
you can see that for a fact. He's done a lot of practice. P2 to P4 really converging on each other, though. Zayla's catching up to Mike, and Mike's catching up to Just Send It, so these two are going to have a scrap in a minute. These three, sorry, are going to have a scrap in a minute, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And the sun's out now, Jack, and it's going to be a nice little end to this race. Sunny spells in Germany, and after the very wet qualifying and the very wet start to this race, we're going to have a little bit of sunshine for the end, and maybe with that sunshine we might have a little bit of fire between these three boys, and I'm looking forward to that. 1.8 though, the gap has grown a little bit to Just Send It, so Mike's not closed in as much as he'd like to in that first sector, so might have made a mistake in that first sector.
Yeah, the same highlight also, I didn't see it on the screen, but he's passed Adam Hart now. I think Adam Hart up that much of a fight, but he's going to come home for P10 at the moment. It's just a 1 point, but it's a point at the end of the day. His teammates in P4, so who's collectively having the best day at the moment? I think it's just the one car out front. I think that's the car that's going to bring home the most points for a team. Like, between the cars, just the one car is still going to outscore everybody else.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've got also considered driver of the days today as well, because last week we forgot, and driver of the days we've got our considerations, I think, to think about. Let's get up some information and some data at the moment, and at the moment you got to give definitely a big shout out to Just Send It. Up 10 positions from his starting position, running it in second at the moment. I mean, that could change by the end, but still I think a very, very good driver, the Ferrari driver. Mr. Pigeon Munch, arguably you got to be in the running for driver of the day as well today. Up 1 position, but made the right calls at the right time. Driven very well. Pretty dominant drive, if you ask me. Shane Lee and Karun, I think, actually Cathal up to 7. I would say Shane Lee's up 3, driven a very good race in changeable conditions, kept his head in that battle with Karun. He's got very close between those two boys, so that he's probably in the running there as well.
Yeah, I think my nominee, though, so far, is probably just the Pigeon Munch. I mean, he's got a lead of 24 seconds, and the two that were untouchable last race, I think there's no other word to be used other than murked on the first lap by the Racing Point. And on top of that, he managed to get a 24-second gap, so he's my vote.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I normally do is I normally give sort of 3 names to the admins, and then they make a decision on Twitter afterwards. But
who's that going solo?
They will race. I don't know. Who is that going solo? Oh, he's retired. Oh, bless. No. Jamie has... Oh, safety car's been deployed, lads. Oh, my God.
Oh,
No.
Although, he can pit. He can pit and still come out in the lead.
Do you know what? Yeah, he's going to go for that, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
going to pop on a set of soft tyres. I think everyone's going to be considering that. But we've got a full-on race on, though, for the end now. Because Pigeon Munch going to go on the soft. Just send it. Probably going to go on the soft. Everyone's got a pit. Really.
Everyone's going to pit now, I think, for the soft tyre.
No one's going to go, oh, no, I'm not taking it.
Oh, Jesus. If anybody doesn't pit now and then decides to pit after they've been punched up. Yeah.
People have got penalties for speeding.
Everyone's getting
Pigeon
penalties.
Pigeon Munch into the pit lane now. And we've got a very nice ending to this race to hook up now because we've got a load of these boys on that soft tyre. Pigeon Munch is going to come in and get on to the set of soft as well. He's going to be the net leader, easy. Set of tyres on, away he goes. Doesn't get held up in the pit lane at all. And he's going to be easy in P1. Just send it. Is he going to be boxing it in? He will be. Mike Marshmallow boxing it in too. Tazela boxing it into. Everybody wants their set of soft tyres on that car to absolutely go ham for the last few laps of this race. Just send it. Needs a good stop here. What tyres is he going to have? Is it going to be a set of softs? It's a set of soft tyres onto that car. Actually, medium tyres now on my screen. I don't know where they are, but it is a set of...
so much. I think he's like jumping. No, he's not mounted.
Yes, yeah, no, he's not. But just send it on mediums.
Oh,
not softs.
Is it staying on mediums? No, he's on softs.
No, just send it is on mediums.
Oh, he is.
I don't know why he's done
that. Might give him a small advantage at the end, but not as much as putting softs on at the start. Send it. That's an error. That is a straight up error.
It is absolutely.
Wait, can you
I'm surprised.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, he can.
Oh, Cathor's been ghosted.
It's closing everything up now. Pigeon Munch, I
don't think you can because... so it doesn't really matter that much because all the lap cars are going to be ghosted. But if they weren't, and they weren't able to unlap themselves, this Pigeon Munch still had a massive advantage because he's in front of loads of lap cars. I'm just looking through to see how close everyone is to the safety car. Just send it. It's about to catch up to the crocodile, as is Mike Marshmallow. Cizela as well. And there he is, yeah. So many.
I still think.
Cars.
Yeah, I still think that Pigeon Munch was going to be angry still. He built up such a big gap and he had it so chilled for the final point of the race. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting end for this race. I think a lot of things to be fought for. Just Sendit's going to be under pressure for his second place against Mike. RBZ's back in the running a little bit here as well because he can definitely fight. I mean, he's actually split the two Renaults because Shaney's on the medium as well. And he's RBZ's actually now in 7th place between the two of them. So, you know, RBZ can score sort of a decent set of points as well.
Yeah, I think the reason he did jump at them is because if they both did it at the same time, one of them would have had to walk because they were that close to each other. They would have to stack pits, and if one of them has to wait there, then RBZ would have jumped them unless one of them waited a lap. One of them either waited in the pit lane or waited another lap, and I think there's no way they couldn't have lost the position there. Just the way the pit stops work. If they had 2 pit boxes, then it wouldn't have mattered. But there's only one, so.
Absolutely.
They couldn't have really not lost the position to RBZ, judging by RBZ's strat. And there's a safety car going to come. Going to be one more. So I think Joe did clonk that barrier quite hard. So just looking, yeah, it's definitely going one more.
Yeah.
So we're going to have what? 6 laps.
6 laps to go for the 6 decent laps of racing, I think. And going to be a very good end, I think. As I said, just under pressure. Gisela's going to be wanting to get past Mike again, obviously, because Gisela's been sitting behind Mike for pretty much the entirety of this race, and wants to get back in on that very much podium place too. So I think it's going to be a very good end, I think.
Just send it. I bet he's really kicking himself now. He's basically put on a set of mediums for the sake of 6 laps. So he's just going to be
just praying.
He's going to be outright slower for these last few laps.
I think he's going to be praying that Mike and Gisela have a little bit of a ding-dong and it goes wrong and he can hope to stay in second. That's what he's going to be hoping for.
Even then, he'll have Ninja and the Renaults to worry about.
Yeah.
Who I think are a relatively similar pace to the front runners. The only difference is they were caught up in incidents on the first few laps. That's the only reason they weren't close to them. I mean, we saw RSF on Karun come from P18 back to P6 within a matter of 10 laps. So, Karun and Ninja, they're not out of the picture. I'd say the top 6 could be on the podium. Any of these 6 could be on the podium. I don't think Mr. Pigeon Munch is really under threat for the win, unless he makes a mistake. But I could be wrong.
Absolutely. Safety car is in this lap, Jack, as you said. As Karun's got a penalty for severe collision with Ninja. So something's gone wrong there on the safety car. Pigeon Munch will be ready and will pull the trigger at any moment now. He goes through here, left and right. Oh, he's dead. A severe collision with RSF1 Karun.
Got one.
So that's very interesting indeed. Any moment now, here comes Pigeon Munch. He's bolted already and he's gone racing once again in Germany. Round the final corner now to start lap 29. And he has currently got a very decent gap to just send it in second place. Just send it will be under all sorts of pressure now heading into this lap here. But bear in mind, he's got a bit of lap traffic in his way between himself and Mike. So things might be okay for him in the primarily in this point actually at the moment, but it's going to close up big time because those mediums will be struggling to get up the temperature in comparison to those softs, who will be up the temperature pretty quickly in comparison. But Slipstream are ready for Mike. He's got the toe on Just Send It. He'll be closing in, but he's just too far back to make anything of it at the moment. Gisela is 6 tenths behind, and look at that, Ninja sticking with Gisela as well, not far behind him as well. It's a bit of a Slipstream fest at the moment, but as that's absolutely expected.
Ooh.
At this point,
Mike is really all over him, and as I said, Mr. Pigeon Munch is gone. He's 4 seconds even ahead of any of the lap cars already, so he couldn't have made that restart any more perfect if he tried. Mike Marshmallow is all over the back of Just Send It at the moment. He is going to do exactly what his rival's gamertag says he's going to do, but yeah, he's either going to be into turn 2. I'd say it'd be into turn 4, because then Just Send It cannot get back at him.
It's so close. Going for turn 1 now. It's all about track limits, getting a good exit. Just Send It's under all sorts of pressure as now Barkey's retired and another safety car's been deployed. And do you know what? That works out so well for Just Send It. That really saves his chicken there, because
just absolutely melted in that car because of that.
That's
He's going to do another like 2 or 3 laps behind this, and we're probably going to have just a sprint in the end. Now Mr. Pigeon Munch probably feels a bit under threat. But if he makes another restart like that one, then
he's all right, I think.
He'll be fine. But there's no lap cars between him and P2 at the moment.
Absolutely, absolutely.
If Mike can get past Just Send It at the start, threaten Mr. Pigeon Munch, the man that took his pole position away from him at the start. But man, this is this is intense.
Yeah, I know the safety car is a controversial thing because it comes out very unnecessarily sometimes, and actually a lot of times on this game, but it's thrown in a very interesting mix for the final stages of this race. Just Send It has got a bit of a breather, and you know, he might only have 1 more lap of racing to go in this race, and it might be enough for him to still keep second place. It's definitely helped him, and it's probably played into his hands a lot more than everybody else, but Mike's going to be going for it on that final lap. But the thing is, you can go for it, but at what cost? Because if he goes for it and it goes wrong, that's his podium gone, and that's a waste. So Mike's got to be thinking as well for his own championship, maybe it's not worth the risk, and maybe I'll just keep third place and just kind of back up to Zayla, and that'll be fine, because Mike doesn't want to lose that podium either. So we'll see how it goes. See how these guys take it. Once safety car comes back in, we'll have a very interesting final lap, or maybe 2 laps. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the safety car coming out, I haven't seen any unnecessarily deployments myself, but the 2 that we've seen today are relatively realistic. I mean, Barkey and Jamie both crashed in racing conditions, and their car was on the track still, wrecked. So these 2 safety cars we've seen today, nothing to complain about. They're realistic safety cars. So this is, I mean, if Just Send It keeps on to this 2nd place, well played. Well played if he hangs on to this. It's going to be extremely hard. He's got the championship leader behind him. Yeah, you get the point. Safety car's not in this lap, so we are going to get 2 laps of sprinting at the end of this race.
It's going to be a thriller, I think. Because we'll have lap 33, lap 34 to complete. So that's going to be tasty. I can't wait. At the moment, your current order is Pigeon Munch, Just Send It, Mike, F1 Zayla, Alati Ninja, RBZ, Shane Lee, Zane Kylo, Adamar, and Cathal. As now Kylo's in the pit lane. Kylo has boxed it in, and I'm assuming he's got front wing damage. That's my presumption. And bear in mind, there's going to be a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
RBZ's got a penalty for hitting Karun. So we're going to have some interesting funnel positions by the time penalties get all cleared off. So yeah, it's eagerly awaiting now the start of this race.
I think a two laps at the end is the motorsport equivalent of a 100-meter sprint. This is going to be all out. They're going to use all of their batteries, all of their tyres, just on this 1 lap. There's going to be absolutely no saving. There's going to be no DRS either. I've just thought of that. I don't think there'll be any DRS. DRS gets activated 2 laps after the safety car's gone in, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so there's going to be... Overtaking's not going to be easy, but it's going to be possible.
It's going to be all on ERS and exit speed. I mean, the difference here for Just Send It is that he had lapped cars in between him and Mike, which helped. He hasn't got that anymore. I don't think. No, he hasn't. So, yeah. It's going to be
I think if Just Send
interesting.
It, if he gets in that slipstream, Mr. Pigeon Munch, he's not going to be able to overtake him, but that'll hold him against Mike Marshmallow. That will help him against the Red Bull behind him. Any of the top 4 at the moment, because I keep getting Ninja's got a penalty, any of the top 4 could fill any of the top 4 spots.
Absolutely. Mitch Pigeon Munch, though, will be going any moment now and getting things on the way. Because safety car is in, and we're ready to go racing once again for the final 2 laps of this German Grand Prix, which has been full of unease. We're about to go racing again, and here we go. Pigeon Munch has gone already, and he's going through the final corner now to start lap 33, and we're racing once again in Germany for 2 more laps. Pigeon Munch leads. Just Send It in 2nd. Mike Marshmallow in 3rd. Let's keep an eye on this, because Giselle is in 4th. They're cutting turn 1 like mad people already, and Mike Marshmallow is still in 3rd place. Just Send It is trying to keep within the toe of Pigeon Munch now. He'll get a little bit of a toe, and he's not got a great exit out of turn 2 or turn 3. So here comes Mike Marshmallow with the ERS. No DRS enabled here. He's just all plain sailing with the slipstream. He's slipstreaming him down into the hairpin. Just Send It defends very nicely now, and Mike will try and get a cutback if he can, but he can't, because Just Send It has used his car as a blocker, so he avoids that indeed. He's kind of eliminated one of the main points of the circuit that Mike can get past the Ferrari driver at the moment. So it is not too bad at the moment for Just Send It. He's keeping hold of 2nd place. Right, meanwhile, Pigeon Munch is starting to bolt, but Pigeon Munch might just try and keep Just Send It within the DRS, just so, and within the slipstream in fact, just so he can keep hold of second place, because you never know. Meanwhile, Gisela is looking very feisty on Mike Marshmallow, and he wants that third place back. He's been behind the Red Bull all race, and he wants revenge, and he doesn't want to be fourth place. He wants to be back on that podium, and you never know, this could happen because he's very much got the pace as well. So we're on to the final lap of this German Grand Prix, and it's been a thrilling spectacle, this one. Gisela's taking a lot of speed through turn 1, and he's in the slipstream of Mike, but no move heading into turn 2. But it's all going to be this long straight here, and Just Send It is under massive amounts of pressure now, because Mike Marshmallow will have the ERS and will have the slipstream once again. But is it enough? Because Just Send It will also have the same amount of charge of ERS. Gisela, on the other hand, has got the slipstream but can't do anything either. He's going to try and cut back on Mike, get a good exit out of this hairpin if he can, and he hasn't got the exit he needs at all. Not whatsoever. It's looking like Just Send It has just done enough for second place. It's not over though until it's over. Mr. Pigeon Munch has driven a textbook race. He's had the safety cars come out, destroy his 24-second lead, but he's kept his head, he's kept his cool in all the conditions, the wet conditions and in these dry conditions as well. He's driven a thrilling race.
Oh, Shanley's been turned around by RBZ. Well,
here comes Pigeon Munch though.
Mr. Pigeon Munch.
He's coming around the final few corners now. The final corner. What a textbook race win. What a brilliant race win for him. He wins in Germany ahead of Just Send It in second place. But it's actually on penalties. Just Send It loses the podium because Mike finishes second. Gisela third. Ninja fourth. Just Send It in fifth. Kylo sixth. Adam seventh. Karuna eighth. Marby Zed in ninth. And Cathal going to come around the final corner for 10th place, I think, in the end. So it just showed if he kept in this race, might score. Actually, no, he doesn't score a point because I think Trini got 7th in the end. So, no, Cathal got 11th. Shame. But there we go. That has been your German Grand Prix. And what a thrilling spectacle in changeable conditions. And you have to say, Mr. Pigeon Munch drove a brilliant race in all the conditions available to him. Definitely one of the drivers of the day, alongside Just Send It as well. I'd say Just Send It, even with penalties, drove a superb race as well, kept it in second, and he finished second across the line in the end anyway. So
yeah, those last 2 laps were perfect from the top 2. I was surprised how quick those mediums were. I was very surprised. They were pretty much keeping pace with the soft tyres. So yeah, well done for Just Send It to surviving. He's unlucky he didn't get the podium, but I think my driver of the day will still go to Mr. Pigeon Munch. Look at all the penalties. Look at all of them.
That's crazy. Let's run through the final order, though, for this race. So it's Pigeon Munch who wins out in Germany. Mike Marshmallow in second. Gisela in third. Ninja in fourth. Just Send It in fifth. Kylo in 6th, Adamar in 7th, Karun in 8th, Ibis in 9th, and Shanley in 10th. Catherine in 11th, Matt DJ in 12th, Cheese Dreams in 13th, Jason is back in 14th place, Ace Face in 15th, Soggy Cabbages in 16th, Barky in 17th, Jamie in 18th, Edith Fawn in 19th, and Alien Crayon in 20th place. That is your classification for the German Grand Prix. And we're about to get the podium interviews underway as well. Everyone's in together as well. So, Jack, once they're connected, can you do the podium interviews for me, please?
Will do. Just everyone make sure that you've got the audio setting enabled in the party. Just, I don't want to ask you a question and I'm just met with silence on the stream. So, anyway, Mr. Pigeon Munch, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, the last third of that race seemed quite a bit more stressful than the first part in the rain, but stressful race?
It was a little bit at the end because I could tell so bad that it was going to happen. I was just waiting for it, and lucky I didn't get any pens in the end because I knew Mike could be clean, so it worked out well, I think.
Yeah. Also, well done that strategy call at the beginning. Was that more of a gamble rather than an educated guess at the start to go on the inters rather than the wets? Because that gave you a 25-second lead.
I would say it was an educated guess, yeah, because in the quali it said it were full wet and we were still on inters, and it said the time loss was only 5 seconds over the course of a full strategy. So I figured why not, because it's going to go to winters anyway. If I lose time at the start but I can save a pit stop, then I think it'd be worth it. But they were just, the first lap were a bit dodgy because I just had to get a bit of confidence on them. But after that, it was clear that they were the faster tyre.
Yeah, well done for the win. I think that out of the 3 races I've watched so far, that's probably the most commanding, I think, of the 3 between Austria, UK, and Germany. So, well done for that. We'll go on to P2 and Mike Marshmallow. That was a tremendous scrap at the end, I think, between you and Just Send It. Do you think it would be any different maybe if you were given DRS?
I just wanted to keep Cesala behind, and because I knew he had a 6-second penalty, so I wasn't really worried, and I knew that Pigeon didn't have any, so I thought I might as well just take it home. But yeah, I was kind of, when I saw Pigeon went on the Inters, I was like, oh my god, he's easily won this if there's no safety car. And I don't know why I didn't do it myself. I just kind of clicked it, let's go, but yeah, it was a good race up to then. Me and Cesala were trading lap times. I was catching Just Send It in second, so it would have been quite a good scrap at the end, but obviously the safety car kind of robbed us of that. So yeah, a little bit frustrating, and especially the fact that there was 5 lapped cars between me and Pigeon Munch on the first safety car restart. So even if we didn't have the second safety car, it wouldn't have really been a scrap for the lead. But yeah, I think I did as best as I could in that race, considering.
Yeah, going on to next race, you're leading the championship by an absolute country mile. Do you think you can wrap it up at round 7, I think it is?
Yeah, I think it's Belgium, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that track, and yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't rain, I think I'll do all right. But if it rains, then as you can see, it kind of throws everything up in the air because the pad kind of comes into its own a little bit.
Yeah, doing the same as Schumacher winning at Belgium in 2004. Moving on to P3 with F1 Cesala. I think, was that a relatively frustrating race for you? Because I think you did have very good pace, but couldn't really display it in a lot of situations because you were sort of sat behind cars you didn't want to be sat behind.
Yeah, it was a catalogue of errors. I pitted a lap after Mike did when it went dry, and then when I went to it, there's a pit lap after, lost a load of time there. But I mean, fair play to Pigeon Munch. He took the risk at the start and he took the lead by quite a margin. But yeah, I enjoyed battling with Mike. But yeah, in frustrating because dry pace it seemed quite fast. But there we are, racing.
Yeah, sort of a question to both P2 and P3. One thing I was very surprised by on the restart was the pace of the mediums, and neither of you really being able to close up that much to Just Send It. Was that more, again, no Mike Marshmallow sort of outlined this point for me, but was that more you couldn't catch up, or the softs had already started to go off? Because the softs do have really short lifespans in these games.
Mine were on 26 or 7% on the second restart, so they were a bit dead. But yeah, I didn't really. There was an opportunity I could have dived down his inside at the hairpin and the corner after the hairpin, but I thought there's no point me, doing it because it would have been 50-50. So yeah, I think I would have been a bit more punchy had he not had a penalty possibly. But yeah, I just wanted to. Just wanted the points really.
Yeah, 27% after, what was it, 4 laps of racing when people were sort of trying to scrap a position?
I think it was 2 or 1.5.
Yeah, 2 laps, 27% is insane. I mean, that completely goes back from my point, what I said at the beginning. I don't think the softs actually wear that much around Germany. Well, they clearly do. Anyway, I think that's going to really wrap it up for the questions. Anything else to say, Rapids?
Nothing from me. I just well done to the top 3. Really good race. Really thoroughly enjoyed that. It was very tense towards the end, and another decent race on the books. Next week, Belgium, going to be a good one, I think, as well. And continuation of the season. Mike didn't wrap up the championship today, but next time out looks like it's more likely. Today was a bit harder, but I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed commentating over there. Plenty of battles throughout the whole field. And once again, Jack, thank you very much for commentating with me.
That's cool. Hopefully next week can just be as tense as this week.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and we'll be back for next week's Belgium Grand Prix. Thank you.